I'm Christa Wessel, and this is On Deck with Young Musicians, where every Saturday at 5 o'clock on All Classical Portland, we celebrate young musicians right here in our community. Today, we'll get to know a teenage piano duo. 15-year-old Alexis Zou, who goes to Lake Oswego High School, and 16-year-old Hansen who attends West Lynn High School. That's him playing music by Grieg right now in the background. We'll also hear Alexis play some Gershwin later in the show. And individually, these two pianists are fantastic. Both got their start at a young age. Hansen comes from a musical family, and Alexis caught the music bug when she was given a toy keyboard as a kid. And today, as teenagers, they both study with the same piano teacher, Renato Fabreau, who suggested that they might each benefit from playing in a duet together. They've only been a duet for a year or so, but already have a few massive accomplishments under their belts. They've won first prize at a number of regional competitions, and they were selected as an opening act for the renowned piano duo Anderson and Rowe. A bit later in the show, we will hear them play together some beautiful music by Gluck. But I wanted to start our chat by asking what it was like to go from playing solo to playing in duet, side by side on the piano bench.
It started off a little bit rocky. We weren't very sure how to,
It's like
coordinate.
a whole new territory.
It's a whole new territory. It's completely different from solo. You have to know how to coordinate. You have to know how to play off each other. There's cues you need to learn how to recognize between the two. And ultimately we started practicing together weekly, and it's just gone from there. We've participated in competitions. We've, of course, done the Anderson and Rowe.
Yeah.
That was very fun. And yeah.
So when you said, Alexis, that it is a whole new skill, can you talk a little bit about that? How is that so difficult? Why is that so difficult?
Yeah, it's honestly hard to imagine just all the different factors that have to be considered when you're doing duet. I think we've had pieces where we have to reach like opposite ends of the keyboard, and so there's a lot of maneuvering, a lot of choreographing that has to be done into that. We're currently working on a piece where I have to do a spin at the end and reach all the way over to his side of the piano, which is
You mean like
crazy.
after you get up off the bench?
Yeah,
and spin
I
around?
have to get up off the bench and do that. So it's
What piece of music is
Quite
that?
fun.
It's the Saber Dance by Anderson and Rowe. And so that has been really challenging but really rewarding to do, just because as a solo artist, you don't get any chance to do any of that. So that's been really fun. On top of that, there's also, just like Hansen mentioned, there's cueing before you start a piece, when you end the piece, a lot of coordination that has to be done to make sure there's synchronization and harmony and like similar body language, things like that. And I think all of that comes together to help us give our best performance.
Wow. I want to ask a really dumb and perhaps childish question, but you guys didn't know each other at all, and sitting side by side at the piano is you're in rather close proximity, right? Mm-hmm. You're in each other's space.
Right.
Right? So
true,
like
yeah.
when you don't know each other, how was that so weird when you started?
Let's just say that it was a little bit awkward off the bat, but I think for the goal of the music, we overcame what boundaries were there. So,
Did you have to talk about it?
I don't think we've actually ever addressed that up front.
we have
which
not,
is
no.
Do you want to talk about it now?
we could.
I mean,
And they're reaching over. I mean, I have Stephanie and Sar on the show. Anderson and Rowe have been on Thursdays at 3 too.
Oh, wow.
And just watching, I mean, sometimes their hands are under one another, right? And that's just nuts.
it is.
It is.
How to coordinate that. I mean, is there a lot of conversation between you two when you learn a new piece? Like, I got to get under here, Hansen, like get out of my way. Or how does that go?
Yeah, I think sometimes if you flip through my music, you'll see our teachers writing us as, Alexis, lean to the left, or like, Alexis, go under here. And so all of that's like, we've practiced that many times. It seems really natural, but like, even me leaning to the left when he has to reach over, it's all practiced and it's all rehearsed.
Wow, what choreography. Incredible. Can I ask how playing in a duet has maybe enhanced your individual playing or your individual musicality? Mm-hmm. Is that possible to articulate?
Oh, yeah.
I do think so. Yeah. for me personally, I've learned a lot from duet in terms of how I should meld certain different aspects of the music into the others. For example, there's melody, and then there's counter melody, and then there's bass, and then so on. And really, it brings it to playing in a duet brings it to light, because sometimes you'll be solely on the bass side, solely on the melody, you know, or it's some weird gray area in between. You have to learn how to balance with a complete external factor. Yeah, it really opens your eyes. It's helped me quite a bit.
How would you answer that question, Alexis?
For me, I think what drew me the most to duet was collaboration. And I think both me and Hansen, I think we all have our different kind of specialty areas too. I think personally, I'm good at softer, mellower, more romantic kind of pieces. Hansen's good at a lot of like modern, a lot more rhythmic pieces, I think. So I think being able to discuss with him and collaborate with him, a lot of these different aspects and ideas that he has really helped me transfer that into my own playing, which I think has been incredibly a unique experience and a really rewarding one too.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. Each of your preferences kind of rub off on one another. That's cool.
My teacher has said my rhythms improved recently, so yeah, I think it's played a part.
Yeah.
I'm Alexis Zou, and I'm 15 years old.
I'm Hansen Barrett, and I'm 16 years old.
You guys formed a duet just last year, and we've been talking about the benefits of making music together. But I'd also like to ask each of you why music is so important to you individually. Alexis, why don't you go first?
So recently, actually, I've been researching Richard Wagner, who's a composer, and I came upon a quote of his that honestly I thought really encapsulates what I think about music. And it was something along the lines of that music expresses the inarticulate speech of the heart. It can't be compressed into words because music is infinite. And that quote actually really touched me because it expresses exactly how I feel. That with music, you can express what you're feeling because you can't put it into words. And that's both a comfort and it's a way for you to connect with other people. Like if I'm feeling sad and I can't express how I feel to my friends or my family, I can express it in my music. And so in that way, music is a big comfort to me. And simultaneously, it fosters connection and it builds people up. It brings back memories, it brings out stories. And that's why, to me, music is such a big part of my life, and it's truly magical.
Music speaks in emotion. Where words speak in thought to someone, words speak directly to the heart. And it's really amazing because what that can do is you can bypass all, predispositions that someone may have. That's just how it is. So I think that's truly the greatest thing about music is that it just speaks to everyone, regardless of who you are.
I think what Hansen said is really true, that music connects people of all genders, all ages, all demographics, and all races or geographical locations, all sexualities even. Like, it's such a bridge between people. And I think especially in a more polarized society now, it's really necessary to have something that can bring people together, regardless of any identifying features or any stigmas people have about each other. So I think that's also what makes music so important.
That's 15-year-old Alexis Zou, who goes to Lake Oswego High School, and 16-year-old Hansen Barrett, who attends West Lynn High School. They formed a piano duet last year, which has already become wildly successful and which has clearly deeply impacted them both. Individually, Hansen performs a lot with his family, and I've got links to his social media accounts on our website. And Alexis performs frequently at senior centers and feels very passionate about that work. As for the future, while both of them plan to keep music as a big part of their lives, Alexis is hoping to pursue neuroscience, and Hansen is thinking about a career in law. You can learn more about the duo, as well as listen to previous episodes of On Deck at our website, allclassical.org. On Deck is also available as a podcast, which you can and probably should subscribe to. On Deck is made possible in part by the Metropolitan Youth Symphony, offering orchestra, band, jazz, strings, flute, and percussion ensembles, as well as coaching by members of the Oregon Symphony, music theory classes, and the opportunity to work with student composers in the Authentic Voice Commissioning Series. Tuition assistance is available. You can register now at playmys.org. I'm Christa Wessel. Thanks for joining me today, and I hope you'll come back next Saturday at 5 o'clock for the next episode of On Deck with Young Musicians.